everyone, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday. It's Tuesday, July 6, 2010. Oh, wrong video. Hold on. If you want to know what that's all about, click here and watch my other video that I'm posting today. Like I said, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday. It's July 6, 2010, and I have some show and tell today. I am going to be doing a t-shirt tutorial, but I'm going to wait a couple of weeks because a lot of the people that I know that watch Talk to Me Tuesday are going to be going to Infinitus, and I don't want to give them anything else to think about before they go because I know most of their brains are exploding with all the crafts that they need to make before they go to Infinitus. If you're going to Infinitus, think of me while you're there because I really wish I could be there with you guys. As you guys know, I did open my shop. Not a giant reception as of yet, but I've had a lot of really good comments and I do appreciate those all very, very much. I have more stuff in the works. I've got a really cool pattern that I'm working on right now, and I have 3 or 4 more sketched out that I will be working on, and I hope to have those up, and probably by the end of July. Most of them should be up by the end of July. Just remember, when I talk about posting patterns, I have to come up with a concept, design it, create the pattern, test the pattern, and that's where I get the project sample from. I'm not going to sell anything that I haven't personally tested and made sure that it was okay. I talked about cleaning up my craft space, my sewing space, to share with my husband and son, so I have done that. And part of what I've done is I've unearthed a lot of things that had kind of gotten put away and I'd forgotten about a little bit. One thing I have been working on are my own log cabins for Linus and orphan blocks that I had put aside to make Linus blankets with. And I have done 2. I did 2 quilts over the weekend, and it was really kind of organic, mindless quilting, where I was just kind of putting things together and just letting it go, and just to get a quilt top created for Linus. Not a lot of planning went into these, but they're really fun to make. This one I made yesterday, which I don't know why I said the weekend, but I did make this one yesterday, but I did pull these out. These are all leftover pieces from a quilt that I am hand quilting, and it's set on point, and so these are actually half blocks that were cut off from the quilt being set on point. And I still have a couple of these left, and I've kept them for years because I wanted to do something with them, and this is what I ended up doing. And the white stripes were actually my son's suggestion because when I cut these off, there was no seam allowance, so I added a strip of fabric to get them back up to 12.5 inches. And so this will be a Linus top. I have another Linus top that was also created, this out of leftovers, and this was started from with a log cabins for Linus block. So got this one. I started with the center, and those 4 squares were from Carrie B, and then I just grew it. I grew it out. This border, these were all rail fence pieces that were left over that I pieced together and squared up. And then all the strips are left over from other projects, except for this red polka dot was another project. It was a bag project I made for my friend Wendy, and it was I had about a half yard left over, so that worked out really well for borders. So that's another Linus top. I had started, and you probably saw it if you watched my tour last week, I had started this piece. This is Knight's Reverie, which this pattern is available in the Sew Hook shop. And I had done one in sort of a pastel-y with purples and stuff, and I really wanted to do a black and white and red one because I thought it would look really cool in a very graphic sort of way. I actually stenciled this one a few weeks ago, and it's been on my design wall, and I just got it all pieced together this weekend. So that was pretty exciting. And this was pieced on my vintage Singer 301A sewing machine because I took my baby lock in to be serviced, and I had found a walking foot, which if you don't know what a walking foot is, an external walking foot looks like this. And what it does is when the sewing machine needle goes up and down, can you see how like the little, it has feed dogs on the front, on the top. See the little feed dogs right here? It pulls the fabric from the top as well as the bottom, so when you're quilting, you have more grabbing on to all the layers that you're pulling through. So I used my Singer 301, and I'll show you what that looks like here. This is my Singer 301A. I actually have a black one as well, but this one is the one I sew on when I need to go somewhere and I'm just straight stitching, because all it does is straight stitch. It goes forwards and backwards and it's straight and there's nothing else. So I actually did quilt that entire piece on the Singer 301A. Super duper cool. Last Thursday and then on Saturday, I helped my daughter make a monk's bag, and when I say helped, all I did was guide her through the process. She made it completely by herself. She did all the sewing. I did help her with the cutting because it was rotary cut, but she made this monk's bag, which you can hear is full of her stuff. She made this by herself. She did all the sewing, she did all the pressing, and all the snipping and all that kind of stuff. And this is Monk's Bag 2.0, which I'll put a link. It's this is my version of another tutorial that was done online. I made a bigger bag with lots of pockets, and it's got, you can see it has a little strap here where she's got her keys hung on this, and you can also hang pins on that. There are pockets that go all the way around, so it's got lots of pockets inside. I'm a pocket kind of girl, so she picked out this fabric herself, made it herself, and I'm really proud of her. My daughter's 15. She knits, she sews, she plays the violin, and she's a writer, so I'm very excited to get to share some of her crafty goodness. I almost forgot to tell you guys about my shirt. This is a Recon shirt. It was Recon using the She Shirt tutorial that I showed a couple weeks ago. What I did was I cut it down, and before I stitched up the edges, the sides I should say, I used this blade. This is the Skip Stitch rotary cutting blade, and I'll put a link to that. And what that does is it cuts evenly. See how these holes are? You can see they're really perfectly even. So I cut those holes, sewed up the side seams, and then I crocheted this little arm around it. I went all the way around, and then I started reducing the stitch size here, and then I made wider, I made longer stitches here. So like this is single crochet and then slip stitch, and then this is all double crochet, and there's a little bit of half double on the side. And then around the edges I cut off the funky nasty lace, and did the same thing with the skip stitch, and then I just evenly crocheted, single crocheted around, and that was it. That was it. That's the entire reconstruction. It probably took me about an hour because of the crocheting, but because of the skip stitch it was really easy, really fast, and that is why I bought that tool. That one is intended to cut through fleece, to crochet edges around fleece, but this is why I bought it, and I finally got to use it for that, and because I finally remembered to use it for that. I'd love it if you guys would run over to Harry Potter Paper Piecing and have a look at the Complete Your Quilt Top Challenge entries. We had a challenge where the whole challenge was to finish your Harry Potter quilt top. You had to have at least 20 Harry Potter paper piecing blocks from Sew Hooked. They didn't have to be mine. They could have been mine and any combination of the guest designers. And the prize is to have that quilt quilted by Hermione Jean from Rock Creek Quilts. She does beautiful custom quilting, and she has donated her time to quilt the winning quilt. So you guys go have a look at that. I'll put a link under my feet. And I want to direct you to my other video. I'm going to put a box here, so go ahead and click on this and go see what that sorting hat business was all about. I will see you guys next week. Have a great week. Bye.